It is some time since I published the previous episode, and because of that I need to reintroduce you to the atmosphere. So let's take again a few steps in the gardens by the bay, on the shore of Dragonfly Lake. You can guess that the original footage is 360, with editing of the point of view in post. I can tell you that the pole fully extended at 3 meters is heavy and not easy to handle. It is just ordinary plastic, not the carbon fiber it imitates, like anything else made in that part of the world. We start the morning routine with the same ritual of searching for breakfast venues below $50. You guessed already that there is no such thing in this neighborhood. As a result, we skip breakfast again. Today it is shopping day on Orchard Road, so I'll not record much. For a change, I'll give you in this episode an extensive flashback section, ending with a Back to the Future brief visit on the observation deck at sunset. We start at the north end of Orchard Road. The sun at noon is absolutely unbearable, so after a few pictures we took refuge in the air-conditioned indoor spaces. We were just about to start the flashback section when I glanced at the show cinemas, freshly opened 30 years ago. It was still smelling of wet plaster when we have been at the very first screening of Jurassic Park. And because of the time zone, it was the world's first public screening. Okay, let's proceed with the 3 nostalgic flashback sections. Located in the Jurong Lake District, the gardens are made of 3 sections. Lake Gardens to the left, Chinese Gardens on the North Island, and Japanese Gardens on the South Island. The gardens have been officially opened in 1975 and have been designed by an architect from Taiwan named Yun Chen Yu. He used a northern style of architecture and landscaping. At the time we have been in Singapore, the gardens were closed for renovation but reopened just a few days ago on September the 8th, 2024. This coincides with the Festival of the Lanterns, when it is more interesting to visit the gardens at night. Once upon a time, two Burmese Chinese brothers named, you can guess, Haw and Par, have invented a tiger balm. They become rich and moved from Burma to Singapore around 1926. By 1937, they built a house and incrementally built a garden until 1954, when the last of the brothers passed away. The house, damaged during World War II, was demolished and the theme park became public. The statues and dioramas in the garden serve to teach traditional Chinese values. In 1986, it was modernized into some sort of Oriental Disneyland full of Eastern mythology. Between 2020 and 2023, it was closed for restoration, but never regained the popularity it had in the 50s and the 60s. That ceramic bowl weighs around 25 kilos. Like all other public venues in Singapore, Haw Par Villa is hosting shows of guest performers from China or neighboring countries. This last nostalgia theme park has a sad story, being open for only 7 years. Proposed by a number of government agencies, the bid and the 30 years land lease have been awarded to a Hong Kong-based company teaming up with SBC, the Singapore Broadcasting Corporation, which was supposed to administrate it. The business case was to get revenue from visitors and movie industry alike, being the perfect backdrop for historical theme productions. The idea was similar to another theme park built in 1979 in Hong Kong by the same developer. Tang Dynasty City opened in 1992 with a hope of 900,000 visitors annually and countless movies produced by the studios hosted there. But history played otherwise. The mass relocation of Hong Kong studios due to 1997 handover of Hong Kong to China did not really happen, and the international tourism in the 90s turbulent economy took a nosedive. Yes, SBC used it for a number of period dramas, but it was just a drop in a bucket. The losses mounted and the park closed its gates for good in 1999. It was eventually bulldozed in 2009. The site remains vacant to this day. One may say that the arrest in 1988 of the Hong Kong developer Deacon Chu for falsification of bank records was a bad omen and has disturbed irrevocably the karma, the zen and the feng shui of this park. Now we take you back to 2024 and take a brief tour on the observation deck. First, we look southbound over the gardens. This is the west-southwest towards the city. We have turned northeast to look at the Singapore Flyer and ECP, East Coast Parkway. Somewhere there it is Changi Airport. This is the actual observation deck, a space open to anybody for a fee.